David Tyree, I mean, I hadn't heard of him before that catch. I haven't heard of him since.
Yes,
but that catch on his helmet, unbelievable stuff.
That's all he does, though, is catch against his helmet. He's the helmet guy.
Yeah.
You go to him during practice. David Tyree, can you stop catching the ball against your helmet?
Dave.
When is that going to come in handy? When is that going to be of any importance?
Just you wait. Just you wait. Hi guys, welcome to The Punt. So today we're going to be talking about some of the greatest plays in history in the NFL. For me, it's got to be Malcolm Butler in Super Bowl 49. Seahawks are on the 1 yard line. They're on their second down. Everyone's thinking, surely they're going to
Run the ball! Run the ball!
They've got
That's what they were
Marshawn
thinking.
Lynch in the peak of beast mode. But no. Pete Carroll thinks he's going to be smart and they go for the throw. Obviously, the defensive play of Malcolm Butler interception was brilliant. But it has to go down for me as one of the most iconic because it was one of the most stupidest calls in history.
This is what I was going to say. I remember the commentator at the time, he sort of broke out of all professionalism and was just like, what a terrible call. Like, he just wouldn't let it go. He was so upset with the call that got made.
Did you hear as well, they tried it like 15 to 20 times and Malcolm Butler never made one catch. And they called it, and obviously the one that he did made was in the Super Bowl.
Yes, I heard
But
that, yeah.
what a moment for him, his reaction of tears and joy.
It's typical Patriots. I think something higher was working there. The jamminess of the Patriots just overruled everything else there. I can't believe I remember watching thinking, oh great, it's nice to see the Patriots lose, and they managed to win on the most unlikely. That never ever happens. There's some weird calculations of what are the percentage chance of the Patriots winning when
Let me head over to my stats.
Well, yeah. Oh, you've got it here. So it must have been 0.01% or something like that.
David Tyree catching the head.
Yes, okay.
Unbelievable. David Tyree, I mean, I hadn't heard of him before that catch. I haven't heard of him since.
Yes, this is
but
it.
that catch on his helmet, unbelievable stuff.
That's all he does, though, is catch against his helmet. He's the helmet guy.
Yeah.
You go to him during practice. David Tyree, can you stop catching the ball against your helmet?
Dave.
When is that going to come in handy? When is that going to be of any importance?
Just you wait. Just you wait. Go on then, Marek, what's yours?
I like the trick plays, and one of the greatest moments of genius ever is some special teams coordinator worked out that when someone punts the ball, the players don't actually watch where the ball goes. They just watch who is catching the ball. A genius at the Rams back in 2014. The Seahawks punt the ball and Tavon Austin's there like he's going to catch it. All the Seahawks defense crowd towards him. Meanwhile, the punt's gone the other side of the field and Steffan Powell's just standing there, catches the ball, runs 90 yards and scores a touchdown. Even the camera at the time, the camera's just following Tavon Austin. No one realises that Steffan Powell's got the ball. So it was something quite unusual.
When it comes to the greatest NFL play of all time, for me, it's got to be a play that has a massive impact on the result of the big game.
He loves results.
Learning.
It's a result.
It's a results business, Steve, right? Yeah. It's Steelers, Cardinals, and Kurt Warner throws into the flat, throws a pass onto the outside, and it's picked off by the most, I suppose you'd say that the least person you'd expect to have an interception, James Harrison, the linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who catches it and somehow manages to trundle 96 yards, right? I don't think he's ever run further than 10 yards in all his life. After the play, you can see him on the sideline having oxygen. He's that knackered. So he's not just batted the ball and he's caught it. He sidesteps a couple of players and he stiff arms someone to the ground and scores a touchdown, which totally alters the game and gives them a big lead going into the half. And they then, of course, go on to win the Super Bowl. But there's been some huge plays in Super Bowls, haven't there? Like in that game, to win it, Ben Roethlisberger, with seconds left, throws a pass into the corner of the end zone for Santonio Holmes to catch and toe tap. Only person who could have ever caught that pass, Santonio Holmes. Imagine that pressure. 30 seconds left of a Super Bowl, touchdown to win. And there's the tiniest of tiny windows for you to slot that pass into, and he manages to do it. I mean, the execution under pressure is incredible. So there's that catch, and then the Julian Edelman one. in the New England game versus the Falcons. What
Literally
a catch
an
that
inch
was.
off the floor, wasn't it?
But
And
even,
like you say, the circumstances, they were so far behind the Falcons in that match.
Yeah.
but Julio Jones was doing some amazing catches in that match.
You and Julio Jones.
But he's overshadowed by catches like that. I just think
you want to be his friend.
Yeah, I think we could be friends.
And again, another Super Bowl, the Philly, one of the most recent ones the last few years. Nick Foles to go in and catch.
I've heard that they stole that from Detroit Lions.
That's very good.
Who'd you hear that
Very
from?
good information there. You're right, it was a 2-point play in Week 15 against Green Bay that Detroit did. I said Google it, and then before you start trolling me with comments.
But the Philly have made it theirs officially.
Yeah.
Like they've got it on hats, they've got it on T-shirts. It will forever be known as the Philly.
You can't change history.
Well, you can.
Yeah, you can.
That's a tragedy, isn't it? I mean, the winners always change history.
Yeah.
And that's a lesson for not just the NFL, but history in general, I think.
Yes.
Is the sort of historical or the importance of a play, does that make a great play? So is it, if it's just a 1 yard run into the end zone, can that ever be considered a great play because of the importance of it in the, say, just to win the Super Bowl?
More often than not, teams that get to the Super Bowl will always have some sort of play, some sort of kind of move that no one's ever seen before. And I think that's maybe why we see the bigger players, the most important players, maybe towards that back end of the season.
Especially because they've studied that they've got, when they get to the playoffs, the preparation they've got, and they're looking at that one team. They've got 16 weeks of footage and all the plays. They've got millions of staff checking out the playbook. So you've got to come up with something that's surprising.
It is that combination of being an important play, but also a great play. So that's where when you're looking at the Edelman catch, or the Santonio Holmes catch, or the Harrison interception, or the Philly, because it had a big impact on the outcome of the Super Bowl, and also it was a great play. Like Devin Hester's kick return for Chicago was unbelievable. And I think, one of the rare occasions where you see a kick return, the opening kick return, back for a touchdown, but they lost the game. I think it's a combination of the context and also how great the athleticism was.
Well, maybe for you. For me, it's all aesthetically about the play, really. I don't care if the team loses.
So we've had a chat about our favourite and greatest NFL plays of history. Put yours in the comment below and make sure that you like and subscribe.